We're almost to the station, and everyone is hoping a rogue spike will derail the Paul train. Probably won't happen. Plus, we've got Rachel Reilly back in the studio, and you won't want to miss what the BB legend has to say before the end of the season. Welcome to the Big Brother After Show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It makes me want to it's like a wave. Yeah,
It is very wavy.
it's so wavy.
It also makes me want to grab a big pillow and like curl up on my bed.
Yes.
Because this is the only
Maybe
music
cry.
we heard for hours.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Literally every Thursday. It was like ridiculous.
Were they like promoing it? Is
No,
No.
they lock you in the HOH room, and while they're like setting up for the live
Yeah.
show, and they play this over
and over again.
What, they can't play anything else?
Literally.
What about
no.
Kesha?
They hate us. That's why. I know.
No.
They do in the morning for like 2 minutes.
Hey guys, welcome to the BB19 After Show. I'm Bryce McLeay. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bryce Advice. I'm joined by two lovely ladies. Why don't you go ahead, take it away.
Well, thank you guys. I'm so excited. Not really to talk about the episode, but the jury segment.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Epic. But I am Morgan Willett. You can follow me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett. But I'm joined by an even better host.
Rachel Reilly, we are so excited.
Don't stop. Okay.
We're so excited to have her. We're thrilled to have you back. Thank you so much for coming.
I never thought I would make it here again.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Well, we're so sad that you didn't bring Adora, though.
I know. You know, she really wanted to come, but she had other obligations.
Yeah.
She probably
She
has.
had other press,
her
she had
dance-
other photo shoots.
Her dance card
true.
is full. We
Yes,
know. We
it's
definitely.
true. It's true.
We really want to know. Well, first we want to say congratulations because you've had a lot of milestones to celebrate since the last time we saw you. We saw that you and your husband celebrated 5-year anniversary. I think we have a picture of that.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Picture of you and Brendan.
Marriage.
Love and BB.
That was on E!
Yes.
Online.
Yes, that's
so
where I
sweet.
stole it
Myself.
from. Thank you.
Celebrity. No.
Don't
Hashtag celebrity Big Brother Julie Chen. I'm available.
yeah, don't bill me for that photo. Also, Brendan got his PhD, correct?
He did, yes.
Yes, that's awesome.
Thank
Thank you for bringing that
Fantastic.
back.
Yeah,
Elwoods.
absolutely. Oh. And not the most important thing, but Julie Chen said that you were her favorite Big
Oh my
Brother
God.
winner.
I literally
of all
died.
time.
I was
I would die.
the most excited I've ever been in my life.
I mean, how does that make you feel?
I mean, there's been 14 amazing winners.
Yes.
You know? And, well, actually, sorry, there's been 19 amazing winners.
Well, yes,
19
yes.
amazing winners. And I was one of them that she
Yes.
said was her favorite.
No,
Not one
she
of them.
said
I am the
you
favorite,
were her
right?
favorite.
Yeah, that's
The-
incredible.
Like, that should go on your gravestone. That should go on your
Julie Chen's
LinkedIn.
favorite.
Everything.
Julie Chen said this about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think anybody should put that.
Good point.
Oh, yeah.
But I know, and we've talked about this a lot on our show, and I've asked Morgan this too, but I want to get your take. Julie said one of the biggest reasons out of the many that she chose you was because you're a woman.
Oh.
So we
Julie
want to
Chen.
know, but I want to know, and I've asked a lot of the ladies about this who have played this game. Do you think it's harder to be a woman to play Big Brother?
I mean, no.
No.
I mean, this is the thing. Okay, I know everyone. It's just a heated debate everyone has now, and I read these like posts this week actually that people were like, Big Brother's set up for girls to not do good, but the thing is like it's really not. The problem is that the girls are catty and they don't want to
Yes.
work together. Because there's always a boys squad that wants to be in a boys alliance. There's always the people that are like, oh, showmance this, and oh, I'll work with this person. They want to get the other showmances out. But then the girls never come together. So it's not that it's harder. It's like we saw on Morgan's season, and Morgan won. You know, her girls alliance was like amazing.
Yeah, and she didn't need a showmance or a
No.
guy or anything.
Right.
You had your girls.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, it's not harder for girls, but girls make it hard for themselves.
Yeah.
That's a good-
So it's just, if girls could do what guys do and be like a bromance,
Right.
get over, it's because girls are jealous of each other.
Right.
It's just in our system, I
And
guess.
by the way, I was watching Survivor season. I don't remember which season it was, but I'm a big Survivor fan too. But it was when Natalie and Nadia, the twins from Amazing Race, were on it, and they tried to do a girls' alliance in the beginning of the season, and she was the first one gone because she wanted to orchestrate the girls' alliance.
Well, didn't that happen like
because the girls
a few
turned on
seasons
her
ago too?
Yeah,
Catty.
so-
That happened with Joey from season season
Yeah,
16.
Season 16 and my sister's season.
Yeah.
Season 15 when the girls they're like, let's have a girls alliance, and then it's one girl that turns on them for some boy.
Right.
That's literally what it boils down to.
So do you guys have a favorite winner? Now that we're talking about it, aside from yourself and and aside from yourself, excuse me. I'm so sorry, Morgan. I forget you're here sometimes. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Morgan's my favorite winner.
Very
Which
good.
is mine. But besides Rachel and us, I really like.
Give someone a
Derek
chance.
a lot. I think he's, just really well spoken. Even not that matters, but so educated, and it was so fun to see him really do it so subtly. Paul's very out there with everything he does, but to see kind of Derek steamroll without really anyone catching on. And that the fact that they had the battle the block or whatever, he managed to go through all of that with not out being on the block. It's just like, how?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I thought he was a really good one.
Because 4 people were going on the block at that time.
And he managed to go the whole, it's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see where you say that. He's not my favorite winner. But I think for me, I liked Dan's winning his season 10 first because I felt like it was a win that he changed the game. It was a game-changing win because no one had really done what Dan did before he did that. And so I thought it was amazing. I mean, clearly, I think that, it's always fun to watch, Season 7 All-Stars or, even Maggie on Season 6, she wasn't likable, but she did play a good game, So it's hard to say, every winner wins for a different reason. And I don't know. I would have to say Morgan, honestly, is one of my favorite, because I'm also a girl, and I like the girl winners, and I like the competitive girl winners. Yeah. So,
I especially like, and there's no there's not a right way to win Big Brother, but I really think that it does show a lot to you that you were able to navigate it without, the typical way,
Right. Well, yeah,
and you had a different season, there were different circumstances.
Ours was, so I'm like, it's very different. I would love to go back on Big Brother and try the regular format and see if I'm good at that. I think because I had to play to America, that played to my strengths because I was able to keep my mouth shut when a lot of people on my season couldn't. So I think it would be interesting to see me on a normal season, but I guess I think I'm a good winner. I don't know.
Yes, you are. Don't sell yourself short.
So
yeah, it was interesting.
So, but you guys are saying that Paul is not your favorite winner.
Well, that's what I was about to say. If Paul wins, when he wins, is he going to be? He's really competitive. I think he won the most HOHs now, the most vetoes of any winner.
Right.
And I think that he never is on the block. He's literally checked off every box of what we say is a good winner. But he's so unlikable this season. Yes.
Well, I want to say that because you had a tweet. You tweeted, since it's official, Paul is winning #BB season Paul.
Yes.
We can officially say he is the top 2 best players ever to play the game. Dan, Paul, Will. I just want to know that was not sarcastic. That was a serious point, or what did that stem from?
It was half sarcastic.
Okay.
BB season Paul,
yeah.
but it is also kind of true because I look back and I'm like, everyone hates me for saying that, but the truth is he literally checks off every box that we want in a winner. Everything he's done, the manipulative game people love, the Will, the Dan, being able to mist people, everything, the competitive game he's played. He's never been on the block like Derek. He's done everything. And while everyone wants to discredit production because of his 4 weeks of safety, I agree. That sucks because we would have seen a different game. However, he hasn't had production on him the whole, second half of the game.
Right.
So it hasn't really played to his advantage. He even got them to discredit a production temptation advantage. You know what I mean? He turned the whole house against production.
Yeah.
Essentially, because he was like, if you get that apple, then you're going on the block. When every single one of them probably could have gotten that stupid second veto or whatever.
For sure.
They didn't even try.
I'm like,
they didn't even try.
Yeah.
That was a benefit to you.
Yeah.
That you blatantly, you just flipped it off.
Yeah.
You literally flipped it off.
Because
benefit.
Paul told them not to.
Right. Yeah.
So
I have to agree with you. I think Paul has steamrolled it. I think he's played a great game. I just get frustrated because I think the people he played against are just really dumb.
They're such
well,
bad
that's
players.
I first want to go back to, you said, he's so unlikable, and that's what my problem is with him too, because and I love his, especially these now later DR sessions, like he's so unlikable, but yet his DRs are like, he's playing to an audience, like people are rooting for him, and it's like
he's gonna be so shocked.
He's gonna be like, this is not, it's not at all the case.
Right, because I think Paul went on last season and he wasn't really a huge fan of the show. And then he saw how much this underdog edit he got last season worked to his benefit. And so now he's still playing the game as if he was on last season. But the problem is like he's playing with totally different people who are letting him do everything. So instead of being humble and like, I don't know what they're like, why are they doing this? Like, I mean, whatever, I guess keep going. And then like, even in his diary or his goodbye messages, he's like, I don't know, Christmas, you must have gotten bamboozled, Kevin, I'm sorry. It's like, just own it.
Right.
Like we would respect him more.
Own it, we would respect him, and they would respect him more. They'd be like, oh, I see what he did. Wow, like, good for you. But instead it's like, they're going to find out regardless, and then he just looks two-faced. So
Absolutely.
Like,
that's the problem.
I wish he would just own it, and then I'd be like, you know what? He's playing a great game, and I want him to win.
Yeah. Do you think that he gravitated toward the weaker people in the beginning, or do you think this cast was just so uneven that some people didn't want to play?
I think the first week changed the entire season, to be honest, because then when there's 5 nominations and how many people turned against Cody, I think that scared everyone. Because nobody wants to be that next house guest that's targeted. And then they had that mob mentality from the very beginning where it was like, oh, he's a pariah, don't talk to him, like you can't talk to this guy. And so after that, I think that that's what changed the season, to having the people that were weak be weaker, and then having nobody want to speak up because they don't want to be having everyone hate them. And it sucks. I know from 2 seasons of personal experience. When people hate you, it sucks. Like you're so isolated in there. Yeah. So I think that that's what happened. And then you had these big personalities like Josh, who were still brainwashed, but he's such a big personality that you can't control. Like he's banging pots and pans and crying and yelling at people and starting fights, and you don't want to feel that isolated. So
is going back to what you just said, did you feel that hatred at the end of your season? Because I know you've told me that it was pretty lonely, but that Jason and Chrissy ended up talking to you.
I got lucky and I got embraced at the end.
But was that the case at the end of your last season when you won?
Season 13? No, because Portia and I had become good friends in the beginning of the season, and then we were enemies because she went on Danielle's side and I was fighting against her the whole season. But then in the end, she and I made this pact, like final 6. And it was like, okay, look, you take me, I'll take you. You take care of me, I'll take care of you. And we literally did. I saved her from like 5 to 4. She saved me from 4 to 3. And I brought her from 3 to 2. So I think like we kept every time like saying, are you going to bring me? Are you going to bring me? I don't think she would have brought me, but but that's okay. Because, I still won. I brought her. I held up my end of the deal. But either way, she was still very cordial. I had Jordan in the house till final 4. And Adam, with my season, he's just like, he's Adam. He's cool. He's not going to, be mean to anyone.
So it wasn't as bad as probably some other seasons.
There's no isolation like this season.
Yeah, this season just took it a bit too far on everything. With everything in the season, I think it just went a bit too far.
Which is why we hate Paul more, because
he seems to be the ringleader of all this stuff. Like with Dominique, she knew she was going home. Is there any reason, if she knows and she's already down, and like I even think somebody had a video of Nicole saying this, and like I actually did agree. Just like when someone's already down, don't kick them repeatedly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just freaking
go home. Yeah,
let them go home. Like they know they're going home. Let them cry.
Well,
maybe be nice to them. I don't know.
And Dan Giesling, he tweeted too. He said, you can play the game hard, really hard, and still be civil to everyone in the game. Crazy to hear what Paul has done to some people.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think about that? I mean, how, and you kind of mentioned it, but
well, this is the thing, and he hasn't, I watch the feeds, but I don't know, like, everything Paul's done. But, like, he had his little people, like Alex, doing a lot of his dirty work, and which is another reason why we hate him, because he never told her to knock it off. Because Alex was talking so mean about Kevin. I mean, come on.
Gosh.
Kevin's this nice guy who's in his, 60s. Like, you're going to be mean to him?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then, we have Jason, who's, like, totally just saying mean stuff, too, and everyone's laughing. So I think that's why we turned against Paul so much, because instead of like at least standing up for social justice, he was like just going along with everything. Yeah.
But what I'm so confused about Paul is Paul's been on the show. He knows kind of the feedback. He knows everyone's going to see this. Where in his head is he being like, all right, people are going to realize like I'm the ringleader. They're going to realize the nasty stuff that's being said. Does he think just because he's just steamrolling so much, people are going to ignore that? Like,
well, I think he did that his previous season, even calling girls the C word.
Yeah.
And I think he thought that, like, he got away with it because he was the underdog. He had Victor. Everyone was against him. By the end of the game, we were all on his side to win. And I think that he thinks, like, oh, well, that's how I am. That's who I am. I'm an asshole.
Right.
Like, he says in interviews, he's like, I'm an asshole. Like, that's who he is. He's going to play that same person, that same character. It's just a different group of people.
Do you think his gameplay is different, or do you think...
I think it's better. I think he's learned from his mistakes last year. I think he got rid of people the second he thought that they were going to go against him or threatening. Yeah, and I think so that in that sense, his gameplay is way better. But no, I mean, most of his gameplay is the same. He had his little minions. He had his little victors the whole season, Alex.
His friendship.
His friendship. He had everyone thinking he was in a final 3 deal. I mean, come on. We saw this damn jury segment, and they were all
it was so great.
They're all like, but I was working with Paul, but we had a final 2. I was just like, oh my God.
It was so great.
It was like,
what did you...
But guys, Raven's a puppet master.
Yeah, you guys, Raven's a puppet master, and she was pulling strings the whole time.
I know.
She reminds me of Harley Quinn from Batman.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys know who she is, an insane clown.
Yes.
That's who Raven reminds me of. But I wonder what Paul's former castmates and people that have played with him think about his gameplay.
I think everyone has said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they're mad about how he's playing the game, but like a lot of people are giving him credit for being a good, puppet master or whatever, how he's playing. But then they're like, the same thing, he's so unlikable,
Right.
I mean, even Victor, his best friend, has been tweeting about stuff. So, I mean, I think if that says
I mean, that was his ride or die in 18. If you see that, then you're like, well,
Well, actually, wrong. you guys hung out with some of his former castmates this week, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So what were you guys doing?
So we had medical spa party.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that?
Getting all pretty for the finale.
Yeah, it was a BB pre-finale party, and we went to Dr.
Jason Emmer,
and his medical spa, and
so
we got beautified. We got some, facials, some hydrotherapy.
Yeah, so we got IVs and got hydrated.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I need. I need after a hangover. I really need that.
But yeah, no, it was fun. Corey from 18 was there. Jessica.
Jessica.
So were they talking about? When you guys all get together? Do you talk game? Do you kind of just really?
We didn't really talk about.
We really didn't. I think I asked Jessica. Said, "Are you ready for this season to be over?" And she was like, "I'm counting down the days." I was like, "All right, well, I feel you on that one." So.
It's funny though. We do get together and talk about the game, but then at this event we didn't.
Interesting.
Because we're
at this point
fun.
we were just like, oh, free things. What?
It's probably good that you can kind of you guys actually have friendships that do last. That people do have friendships that last. That don't have to just deal with the game and everything.
Well, it's funny because I got out of Big Brother and everyone was like, "Oh, you're part of the Big Brother family," and I was like, okay, that's phony. That's weird. But
it's true.
It's so true. And everyone is so just compassionate and nice. And they automatically include you. Like, I didn't know Jessica. And I walked up and I was like, well, she's not going to know who I am. I was on a website. So sweet. Just automatically everyone gets along. So, I mean, regardless of what happens in the house, most of the time, I would say 99% of the time you get out and you're just embrace. And now, will this season be different? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you were saying, so what is it? I don't know, but what was Victor's? What was some of the stuff that he was saying, or did you guys? Was it just?
It's been very calm, but it's been like I'm sorry for the families of the HouseGuests, stuff like that. It's not been like attacking anyone, but it's been like not as supportive.
Right. It's not like he's like, Paul's number one, but it's more like, well, I kind of need to apologize on behalf of Paul, so, I mean.
Well, and I saw an Instagram live of Nicole and Victor, and they didn't talk game at all. They were radio silent. So I didn't know. I wonder what that I don't know if they're just trying to avoid it, or maybe they're someone's getting an exclusive or whatnot, but they didn't say anything about that. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
There's any exclusive.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, probably not. But
I think it's probably too with them. They're newly dating, and they're probably like doing their own thing. They probably want to separate themselves from Paul.
Right.
Probably, yeah.
I mean,
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Paul cried a lot recently.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
Did he cry or did he like wink, wink,
cry.
wink,
Yeah.
cry?
Well, that's what a lot of people were saying. Like, especially when he went into the diary room after he had that hug with Josh and Christmas. Was that fake too? Because we obviously know the wonderful priceless scene of Josh seeing the devil.
The meme is fantastic.
So, but I don't know. I wanted to know what you guys thought if that was real, or if you thought he was being genuine.
I have such a hard time believing Paul's being genuine. I don't know why. Maybe it's the whole season and watching him this season, but him crying, I was like, no, I don't believe you. But maybe that's me being heartless, but I just didn't see it at all.
The problem is his character is not believable to cry. So he's been built up this whole season and been how he's been acting. It's not believable that guy would cry. But then maybe because Big Brother is such this like different reality, and you're in there now for 100 days, and he was in there last summer 100 days. It's like, yeah, 2 summers in a row with that much time. I mean, you have to literally, your brain chemistry changes, you know? Like, so maybe those tears are genuine, but because we've seen so much stuff this season with him, we're just
you're like,
that is such a good point. Like, it's not in his character to cry. I think that's really interesting, because it really isn't. And if he were, like, I think it's what we're all kind of saying, if he were to go back to the sort of like asshole, I don't give a crap, all this stuff kind of guy, then everyone would respect him more. He would be a better game player. Everyone would see, instead of like, oh, you got bamboozled, somebody went rogue, whatever.
Own it.
It doesn't matter. So I don't know. But what did you guys think of Alex? Like, what do you think was going through Alex's head when he told her that he wasn't gonna use the POV?
I mean,
or is it kind of the same thing that's happened all season?
It is, you know? And I get she was mad, but then she basically was like, well, I'm still gonna vote for you, and I was just
on
like,
the feeds.
Oh, it's a
you know what it
was?
Was? Yeah, it was the Mark comment when he said to to Matt, why would you backdoor Keven? That's like what this was, like with Alex, like. Why would he not use, or why would he use the veto on you? You're a direct competitor for him, you know? Like,
well,
but
how did all
guys,
of these people
friendship.
How did all these people think they were going to?
I was like, Alex, I mean, she's won so many competitions. So many. I mean, she has a good head in the game. I'm like,
and Cody's her friend, and Jerry, Mark, and Elena, she has a relationship with.
Why would she? Could she even think that Paul would bring her to that? Especially when there's Keven, there's Christmas who can't compete, and there's Josh who's probably disliked by most of the jury.
And it blows my mind how she's been throwing these past few competitions to get this far, and then she's like, I'm just gonna trust Paul and throw this competition. Like what?
You should never throw a competition this far in the game. I don't care who you trust, because I mean, it's Big Brother. You think you trust someone, and then that happens.
And then they don't use the veto on you, Alex.
But why is Keven such a? How are they thinking that Kevin's this giant threat that they want to get out?
It's not. It's that mentality where it's like they want to go after. They all pick someone to go after because it's not them.
Right.
So if they can just let's go after Keven. Oh, let's go. Yeah, that's a great idea. You know, it's just whoever.
Well, how does
someone to go after? That's
and how does Keven still trust Paul? I mean, that is a mystery to me. I mean, I don't understand that.
I was really confused with how Keven trusted Paul, and then also how Keven would just well, you know, he's probably gonna use it with me in Christmas, and he didn't even talk to Christmas. Why would you not just go Christmas? Hey, by the way, if Paul goes to the final 2, he's gonna win.
It's kind of like what you and Portia did. I mean, you basically you went across enemy lines and said, listen. Let's make a deal.
We have to work together. I literally
nobody did that. Nobody crossed wires.
But no one's done that the whole season.
I know.
And that's
what
what's
I mean.
bitten everyone in the butt is they can't. It's almost like they can't get over their pride, or they don't want to step on toes. But it's like, have you watched other seasons? Do you realize you have to do that in order to go farther?
Well, they probably haven't. That's the thing. Kevin's not a fan. You know, you have a lot of people that Alex weren't. Right. You would have thought Alex would, but Alex was a fan, and she was a super fan, which means she's going to want to side with Paul. She sees how you know, Paul has these fans, that means I'll get fans. Paul has this, if I'm Paul's friend, like, you know, whatever.
So sick of
that's
that.
all it is. Me too. And I wish they would cast people that want to win $500,000 and that don't want to have 500,000 Instagram followers.
And it's kind of sad.
If you have $500,000, you can buy 500,000 Instagram followers.
Truth.
The other thing is too is like what like if you I know I totally understand, but it's Cody. Like Cody is the person that you want to cast because he doesn't care about followers, and that's so crazy to say. But he's somebody that doesn't care about all the superficial crap. All he wants is the money.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so upsetting that he is not still here.
I know. We're all kicking ourselves.
Why?
But Gabriella from the chat room, she asked you guys, if Paul weren't in the game, who do you think would have done, who do you think would be in the final three, I guess?
If Paul wasn't in the game.
I think I know
It
what
would
you're
have
going
been
to say.
such a different game.
Right.
Because
almost like you don't even know.
Yeah.
I want to assume that there's still going to be the Jody because they're. I feel like they're really authentic. So I think that they're still going to team up, and I think it would be a little bit of season 12 vibe with everyone going after them because of, you know, on season 12 they went after me and Brendan.
Yes.
And I think that would be the mob mentality, go after them.
Right.
So I think there's still a good chance Alex would be going really far because she would probably have to be on the opposite side.
And maybe Jason.
There's a chance that Jason, I think, like, without Paul, though, I think Jason falls flat unless he just is with Alex.
Yeah.
Right.
But, because I thought Jason played a lot of game this season for Paul, which so did Alex, but she at least won competitions, which would have kept her in the game.
Yes.
Christmas, I think we would have seen her gone real early.
Oh, yeah.
She just, I mean.
She
Especially
looks
after
like a
getting
beast.
hurt.
You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, and then it's like, had she not gotten hurt, how would they have
there's
utilized
so
her?
many
and
different
then
ways
had,
this season
I
could have
know,
gone.
had there not been 5 evictions
And
or
had
5
Megan not
nominations,
self-evicted,
and
Yes.
like how
Right.
would have that changed? Like so many things.
I thought you were going to say Cameron would be in the final.
I would like to believe. I just want to see.
Actually, I think I agree
think
with
he
you.
would.
I think he could
I think
have
he has a
too.
good head on his shoulders. I think.
Ramsey's, Cameron, and Alex could have worked together.
Absolutely.
Oh,
was what
that
I
would have
would
been
have
great.
loved
Yeah.
to see. I'm still bitter.
Yeah.
I would have loved to
No,
see
your
that.
excitement was like,
Yeah.
I
But
would
it's
love.
like you want to see gameplay
Right.
from
Yeah.
different people besides just one central person. So we've got to
Right.
see Paul and Paul's ideas. We haven't got to see any
Anybody.
other
No.
side deals, anything.
Well, because
Right.
you know what it would have been without Paul, what we saw the very first episode, where it was what would they call themselves, the misfits?
The misfits versus
like
the Cody
Josh
said
or
the pretty
couples,
people.
The pretty
The
people,
pretty
right.
people.
And that's what it would have been. And then we
Yeah.
would have seen, I think probably Matt and Raven would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just useless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it 100%. Cameron, Ramses, and Alex probably would
That
have
would
been
have
their
been a
little
good
That would
misfits.
have been a
trio.
good duo, trio, whatever.
And
Yeah,
Josh,
trio.
do you think, I really think Josh might have gone with the misfits too, because
I think he would have.
What would he
Because
still?
at
But he
first
still would have been so
was
erratic.
kind of in.
Would he though? Because he had a lot of this, this behavior because of Paul's like
But
encouragement.
he was, yes,
Right.
that's
Go,
true.
go get Cody. Go piss him off. Do whatever you
Do the
gotta
pots
do.
and pans.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Paul would have been Josh would have been a completely different person in this
Me
game
too.
had Paul not been there.
Yeah.
I think he was still very erratic, but I do
For
think,
sure.
but I do think he would have in which he was doing. It seems like what he did throughout the season until he kind of came into his own. Was he was kind of a shield.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to evict him because
Right.
he was always going to have a target on his
Right.
back. So there's no reason why would you evict
Yeah.
someone with a
And
huge
he couldn't
target?
win
Yeah, and he couldn't
anything.
win. There was no threat there.
Right.
And he got the golden whatever. I
Yeah.
thought after he got the golden apple, I was like, oh, he's
he's
so
done
screwed.
bad.
Yeah.
He's so screwed. And now he's
Yeah.
probably going to be final too.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But I know we talk about this. I feel like the whole show we talk about Paul, which is so sad. But
Well,
I do.
it is
There's
the
nothing
Paul
to talk
show.
about.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
BB
It is
season Paul.
BB season Paul. But somebody said recently that they, like a big BB super fan said that they think that Paul has the best social game they've ever seen. And I don't agree with it, but I want to know what you guys think about that.
No.
I don't think his social game is good at all. I think his jury management's horrible.
That's what I
think
wanted to
his
ask you,
social
too.
game is horrible. I think that he has a good manipulative game, and he's been able to twist things and get people to all believe what they want him to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is he's not forming real relationships with people.
Right.
And yes, Raven is like obsessed with him and Christmas. However, the second if Raven gets someone else, like if Matt could convince Raven, I doubt he will, but if he could talk sense into her, she would listen and turn
Yes.
on him.
Yes.
Because she doesn't have a real relationship with him. There's nothing based there. Like in Big Brother, you do form real relationships with people and they become your friends and you're like, that is my friend. Like, I don't care.
Right.
Whereas, like, with Paul, I don't think anyone is actually his friend, you know? So I don't think he's had a good social game. Keven, everyone liked him. Everyone respected him. He was, I mean, well, you know, but Alex. But, you know, like most of the house, they wanted to talk to him. And he was, like, the older brother, or the dad that Christmas said. And, you know, Christmas has formed real relationships. I think she's played a good social game. She's
absolutely.
formed real relationships.
I mean, look at her
people.
and Josh. Like, Josh would do anything for her, and that's a testament of their relationship. Whereas I think Paul's literally just been playing puppet master, but has he really taken the time to get to know people? No, not at all.
At all.
So I don't think he has a good social game. And I mean, look at, if you do have a good social game, look at Keven. People outside the house love Keven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say the same about Paul? No.
No, and I also think we're going to see the how much of a bad social gamer he is when we get the questions for the final three, because I don't think he's going to be able to answer questions about these people. I don't think
very
he knows.
interesting.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I don't think he knows anything about them. And if it's Christmas answering these questions,
I think Christmas will do.
She'll do
know.
really well because she'll know. I think she would know everything about most of these people because she's had genuine conversations with them all season. She has not been a threat because of her injury. So people have formed real relationships with her.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point, because she hasn't been a threat. But I do. So in this episode, we saw Alex get evicted, or the last two episodes, we saw Alex get evicted. We saw Keven get evicted. We have to talk about the jury segment, because it was the best part.
How can you be a puppet master if you haven't won anything?
Yeah.
Like,
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Thank you.
When Elena was like, "This is hilarious," and it was hysterical. What did you guys think about that?
I thought it was great. I also loved that, like, how long was the jury segment tonight's episode? 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
So
it's like
long.
because they didn't want to cover. There's nothing else except Paul.
exactly.
You know, like if they could do a jury show, I'm sure like they'll keep showing.
They keep saying that.
I
People
would
have
watch
been
the jury
pitching,
show.
People have been pitching that for years.
Right.
That the jury should put cameras in the jury house. I don't know why they don't.
And
really
that is
should.
a good point.
Because it just would make. I mean, even if it's just like from on CBS All Access or something, it could be really good.
Oh, I'd watch it.
I would totally watch it.
Yeah.
But when you're in jury, because I know you never went, but I went to jury my first season, and they tell you no talking about the game. So maybe that's why they don't do it, because they don't want you to talk about the game. But then you get to know the characters on a different level.
Yeah, and
you
like
know?
a not so Big Brother level.
Yeah.
Well, so now let's talk about so we have the final three in place. I want to know what do you guys think the jury's going to do if it's, let's go through all the scenarios, like if it's Paul and Christmas, or it's Paul and Josh, or in an insane twist of fate it's Josh and Christmas, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So what do you guys, so let's start with Paul. Let's start with Paul and Christmas. What do you guys think is going to happen?
I think if Christmas wins the final HOH with the questions.
Do you think she's going to be eligible for the first part or not?
I don't.
No, there's no. Well, unless they really change the endurance, because it's always endurance.
Yeah.
They could
They're gonna
change
be
it to
standing
be
on
like but it could be like sitting on something. You know what I mean?
Or like the thing where they held something.
They could
so
hold
I
something.
bet they do that, because it's going to be boring to see. Not
What did you guys have to
compete
do?
in it.
What was your
Ours
endurance?
is different.
So-
Wait, it was me and Justin. So ours was we had to go the head-to-head competition. So it was the running and the sprinting and
through the gate.
maze. It was the most miserable experience of my life.
What about yours? Because they used to do the ones where they dunk. Like,
that was mine.
That was yours?
So we had this like weird, crazy mixing bowl. It was amazing. Or like it was like the water tank underneath us was freezing cold water, and it was like dyed yellow or something, and they were like splatting us with stuff and like, you know, throwing balloons at it, like all this crazy stuff. And we were like cake mixers, so it went around in a circle.
That's right.
We
I
had to
remember this.
load from the top. We had to like take a harness up to load, because like it was so high up. So we climbed up this ladder and like got onto our platforms. We like, they would raise us and lower us and spin us around, and it was like a holding on, but the platform was this big, like I don't know if you guys can see, it's like really small, and then you could hold on to the back of the paddle, but that was all. So like it was But I mean, I was competing against Adam. Bless his heart, Adam. But it was like not. And Portia's a good competitor, so that was a challenge.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how that would go, but she's not good with like motion, so she fell off. And I think she knew she would win the second one. And then the second one was for my season was like a maze underwater. So, I mean, Christmas can essentially do either one of these.
No.
They're going to have to modify both of them.
Right.
But they said they weren't going to do that. They said they were not going to modify anything.
So
But she also won a running competition.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
But that was fake. I mean, that was.
Could they do the wall with the placing of the heads, like, you know how
Oh yeah,
the days with the wall, because that's not technically using your leg, you're on a harness, so the whole time.
You know what they could do is that one weird crazy game that they did, I think in 16 it was, or maybe that was where, well, they haven't done the game, or is that maybe that's what you're saying, the spinning one where you're sitting on the you're spinning, you're like spinning around and everybody gets sick. I think it was last season they did it.
Yeah, with the chairs, the swing. Yeah, they could do a swing, but the problem is,
but no, don't you remember they're on like you're holding on to a
a rope,
pole, and then you're spinning that. Is that the same thing? Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is with that is that I think she couldn't do it because of her leg.
I think they. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, because you're standing on it, and then they would sit down.
Right.
That's
right.
And
if you
it's
fall,
not. You're not sitting on it.
So it's going to be
anything she can fall off.
Right. So it's got to be something that's boring. I don't want to see them stand on the ground.
But then again, the longest competitive challenge ever in Big Brother history was 14 hours, and it was them pressing a stupid button.
That's true.
So I mean, by the way, I know why that is not exciting to watch. However, thinking about it, I think it is exciting. And they were, you know, they could do water. They could do freezing cold water. They could do,
true.
Because at that point, it's
throwing something at them.
Because at that point, it's like you're literally enduring, you know, the elements. You're enduring this, like holding a button. Just sitting there, like, shoot me now. Yeah. Because, like, it's boring, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So you were saying, though, before I cut you off, I think, with Chris, you said if Christmas can win the...
Oh, right. So she can win the final, assuming she's in the final 2, and she could win that challenge. I think that people could be swayed to vote for her to win the whole game, because then at that point she's won 3 HOHs. She can say, I was competitive. I had a great social game with you guys. You know, no one was threatened by me. I was loyal to Paul the whole season. I don't know if that will matter.
She can toss in the leg thing, too.
Toss in the leg thing.
Yeah,
I mean, get a lot of sympathy for that.
It's a crutch,
and then
no pun intended.
Right? Literally, though. And if people are so mad at Paul and the jury is bitter, which it sounds like they are, then there's a good chance that Christmas could somehow win this season.
Do you think that there's any chance that she wouldn't take Paul? That she would take Josh in the end?
I think it's Josh is going to have to win and take Christmas.
Can you even believe that when she couldn't tell him that she would take him? He's like, I will take you to final 2. And she said...
At least lie.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. She's not a very good poker face.
No, not at all.
Okay, so now let's do Josh and Paul. Or Paul and Josh.
That's what I'm so... torn about is, are we gonna have a bitter jury first of all, and then are they going to just be like, well, I didn't like Josh, like
that's the
he's
thing.
Just not likable.
It's almost like what happened last season with Paul,
right? So,
but even with the bitter jury, there's no way I think that any of them could justify giving Josh $5,000.
Right.
Like the thing is, it boils down to like, I hate Paul. However, Josh. Like, what have you done this entire game?
Except say he's going to do something, but then not do it.
If Josh wants any shot to win, he has to win the final HOH and evict Paul. That's his big game move. I realized Paul was turning against it, and he's been building it up a little bit with his goodbye messages. So I think that's his only argument. And but then it's Christmas, so do people vote for Christmas over Josh?
But if he got Paul out, I could see they'd be like, well, he was the one to beat. You got him out. I'll give you my vote.
But do you think that Josh can beat Paul in the final HOH?
That's the
problem.
I think there is a chance because I just really don't think Paul. He talked about himself all the time. That was the thing. He was never. And I don't know, maybe he did and I wasn't watching the feeds enough, but I don't think he ever really picked up on other people's personalities and what makes them tick and what answers they're going to answer for questions. Like, he spent so much time with Alex, but I don't feel like they formed a real relationship. So if Alex answers a question and it's like, did Alex say my favorite part of the game was going out on, whatever, right, the wieners or being HOH 3 times, you know, like what is he going to say?
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be that's the most exciting part of finale. Right. It's like Paul probably has no idea.
But so explain the because now I can't remember. So we played, it's an endurance comp at the beginning. Right. The first
is always
HOH
endurance.
is endurance. So then whoever wins that
it doesn't have to compete until the final part.
Okay, so we're all right. So we're assuming that if Paul,
I'm gonna assume Paul wins endurance.
Okay, so
unless it is like a button thing. If it's like
and then at that point,
legit,
it's like Josh knows he has to win.
He would, yeah.
And I think he would win.
Okay, and so then so we're assuming that if Josh wins the first part, let's just hypothetical. Josh wins the first part, Christmas wins the second part. Then who gets to decide? Who decides then?
Whoever wins the third part.
Oh, right.
If
There's
Paul
a third part.
Somehow
That's the scales.
End up in the final two. I mean, I just don't.
That would be so insane.
That would be insane because. I mean,
it really would be.
Paul's a decent competitor too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's a bad competitor. So I think I just can't even imagine a competition for the second part of the HOH that Paul wouldn't beat Christmas in.
Yeah.
She might throw at you guys.
That's what I was going to say. Do we think it would get to the point where if it was Christmas versus Paul, she would be like, I'm giving you my game? I honestly think she would. I think 1,000% she would.
She would.
She even said,
she knows
before,
she's going
like, I'm worthless.
no matter what.
Right.
It's disgusting.
Oh my gosh, I'll
no,
punch a hole in my
I
TV.
actually get so infuriated. Like I watched an episode, I think it was Sunday or Monday's episode or whatever, and I was watching it like before I went to bed, and I could not go to sleep because I was just so infuriated.
Right.
Because it's just like these people, they've never crossed wires, they don't talk to each other. All they're like, they have one narrow mind and it's only facing Paul, and it's just, I think that's why everybody hates it too, but he is playing a masterful game. You really have to give it to him. Now, okay, somebody said on the feeds, I can't remember, or someone said on the chat, on the feeds, somebody said in the chat,
same thing.
said in the chat room that Christmas worked for Paul's parents. Is there a rumor going around that like that Christmas is where it said, somebody said, maybe if we can, someone in the chat can
Christmas
help us out.
worked for Paul's parents.
Christmas worked for Paul's parents, and also I think we've talked about that Raven also knew Paul.
I knew Raven knew Paul before.
But did she know him or did she follow him around and meet him
I think
at a thing?
Okay, yeah, so... And also, we have to remember Raven's track record with lying, so this could be something.
God.
I think she did probably meet him at a concert. Do I think they hung out? Do you think Paul and Raven would really get along that well? No. So I bet they met at a concert and probably took a picture together, and she was like,
that's
we're
what
friends.
I think too. And is there also a chance that they had a beer together? Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
I could see that happening.
But then somebody was like, they hooked up, and I was like,
no.
Absolutely. No, 1,000% they did not.
No way.
Yeah, that's... Oh, wait. Are we going to find it? Maybe I can't. I don't know. But, yeah, I think that's... I just wonder... that was just something that caught my eye. I had never heard that. I didn't know that that was the case.
I haven't heard that either.
The Christmas thing?
Yeah,
I've
the
never
Christmas
heard that.
thing.
But
she is enamored with him.
What's going to be interesting is that she's still going to be as enamored with him once the show's over.
Do you think so? Or
I mean, because I know she was supposed to get married. I think
But like 4 times.
Right. So maybe she just got really emotional. It's like, oh my God, this is what my wedding was supposed to be. And she was like, well, Paul, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be feelings out of the house.
Oh wait, go back up. Really. Joseph said something up there. Sorry, Steven. He said that Paul isn't playing a masterful game. He is doing what Netta
from Big Brother
it's the same
Canada.
thing, and that oh, thank you. Yeah, he isn't playing masterful. He's being Netta from being Netta to cause. Thank you. Nicole won last summer when she shouldn't have. Feels like we're seeing a script play out.
I don't think he is Netta. I think Netta is... Well, I like watching Netta play, and I don't know if it's just different casts, different seasons, or whatever, but... I mean, we all emulate someone when we're fans of the show, right? You know, we watch the show, and even if we don't mean to, when we're playing it, we probably emulated someone. And I think that even in Jury, or in Sequester before the show, they show us, you know, seasons that they want us to emulate. Like, they do that. They're smart. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I was a huge Janelle fan. I wanted to play like Janelle.
Yeah.
You know, like, we all have people that we want to play the game like. And
they
then
definitely told me about you.
Yeah. No big deal. Hey.
You got a shout out in the Entertainment Weekly recap. They were like, Alex is no Rachel Reilly or whatever. That was funny.
Ain't that the truth?
But what's weird, from last season at least, from what people are saying, I don't feel that way at all. I mean, if anything, I feel like it was geared. I don't think the show's rigged, obviously, but
Right.
I think that it was geared more toward Nicole's benefit than it was. I mean, here she's a girl, she's a vet.
Oh,
it's
last
like,
season?
Yeah, last season.
Oh my God, 100%.
You know what I mean? And people keep saying that this season that it's that Paul. Oh, it's like they're mad that Paul lost last season. When I don't. I mean, I just don't think that's the case.
No, I think last season we saw like females like Devon and Natalie, and they went into Jury House and they were preaching girl power. That's what it was.
Absolutely.
And there was no way they were voting for anyone else
Who said the
that's
C
the
word,
case.
especially.
Right, 100%.
Right.
And like, you know, it could have been Jane. I mean, I don't think Paul would not have won last season.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So
I don't think Paul would have won. Yeah, between
Right.
either of them, and that's what he keeps saying. I can't
Yeah.
make the same mistake again. It's like I don't think there was a
I
mistake
don't think
made.
there either. I don't think.
I don't like you had a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless who you were with.
What did you guys think of the Revengers? Really fast.
I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, it was entertaining. It was
Why
funny.
wasn't I?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Well, that's what I was very curious. Out of all the epic Big Brother people,
Yeah.
I get Dan, and I guess I get Spectacular, but other than I was like, really?
Well, you know what?
guys?
I have to say that there was 2 females and there was like 8 guys.
Yeah,
So
true.
See,
if
CBS.
you're
That's
watching
true.
CBS,
You need some more
you
girls.
preach girl power, but then you
Yeah.
put 8 guys on a
Right.
Revengers, like
And
the
2
guys
girls.
and 2 girls. Yeah, and like I totally see why
Why
they.
not you and Janelle?
I know,
You know?
or
That would-
me
yeah.
additional, you know, like just
Yeah,
throw me
you
in there.
there.
Like I'm live here.
You could have been like Dan's partner. That would have been cool.
Oh
That
my
would've been cool.
That would have been
CBS,
cool.
I am bitter.
Yeah, bitter hashtag.
And I don't even want to be in. I just want
Yeah.
Rachel.
Okay, before we get to Julie's Corner, which is our new segment, I want to ask you, we completely forgot to, and now there was a huge announcement last week, which is Celebrity Big Brother.
I'm so excited.
And we completely forgot to talk about
Oh, yeah,
it. So
we
I want to know.
always forget.
Yeah, I know, we always forget everything. I want to know which is coming this winter, but I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. And Rachel, do you think you're going to be on it?
I mean, I wish. A hashtag Rachel for BB celeb.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna cast like real celebs. So
No, but like,
don't
I mean,
think-
and I'm not comparing you to this
Yeah.
person whatsoever, so do not take this offensively at all. But it could be like the Omarosa of like
Oh, yeah.
Celebrity Apprentice, where they have a great, you know, I mean, I don't think she was that great, but I'm saying like a great player come back who's you know gotten notoriety through the show, and I think you're a perfect candidate for it.
Thanks. Well, I was on 4 of their shows, 5 of their shows.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Why
why
not?
not? I would
Yeah.
love to
Oh my
play.
gosh.
I would love to play Big Brother again.
Who would you want to see?
To be honest, it's so funny. So I did this interview with Hollywood Reporter, and I just couldn't even think of any celebrities at all. But I want Julie Chen to play Big Brother.
Oh my God, yes.
But I mean,
Don't
like,
we all?
Yes, it would be epic. I know
Yes.
she can't; she has to host it. But like,
But like,
I just would love it. Can
That'd
we
be
just get her
amazing.
in there? Because like, it just would be. She plays with the girls on the
On the
talk,
talk, yeah.
and she's so fun.
It's so
and it's
good.
the best
Oh my
ever. And
God.
she
She's
would
so
be
competitive.
Such, yes,
Right.
she's so competitive.
but I
She'd
feel
be
like she
such
would
a good
have
Big
it like
Brother
her
player.
stuff together. Like I feel like
Yeah.
she would stay
Oh,
composed.
she'd
like,
be like,
would.
you would never know what was
No.
going
Oh my-
on.
Oh my God,
Julie.
She'd win.
She would win.
Yeah.
And then they'd be
She
like,
would.
it's rigged. Celebrity
Yeah.
Big Brother's rigged for Julie Chen to win.
Oh my gosh.
Celebrity Big Brother's rigged.
Yeah.
Or just have Julie go in there and live for a day. I just want to
Oh,
see
that
her
would be
live
cool.
in that house just for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
God.
Well, no, you have to go watch the talk segments because
Talk,
they're
they do
so
so
funny,
many
especially like
good
with Sharon
ones.
Osbourne.
Oh,
Like you're
she's so
watching her
fun.
do
Yeah.
the competition, and she like gives up all the way, and
Yeah.
Julie's like fighting to the end.
It's so
It's
true.
hysterical. Okay.
Maybe one of them will do it.
Maybe,
you know?
my
yeah.
gosh, I
I mean,
love that.
they are like I know Sarah Gilbert's a huge fan,
Yeah.
and like there's some other people that would, and you know even that we had Matt Eisman on last week.
Yes,
Who's a huge
I love
fan.
Matt.
He would be
Be
great.
He would be
great on
great.
it.
But so like for Julie's Corner, it's this little segment that we do. It's stuff that happens with like what
With
Julie
Julie.
says in
Yeah.
the news or whatever. But I think it's funny that first of all, the Entertainment Weekly, the same one that you were in, said that Julie Chen. They're like Julie Chen may be Big Brother. And I was like, that I know. I've been saying that for years. Like, she has to be Big Brother.
Yeah.
There's no other. I thought that was funny. But so she did a Facebook Live with Mark Feuerstein, who's also a huge Big Brother fan. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He was on. I think he was on a show called Royal Pains, but he's coming out with a new show called 9JKL
Oh, yes.
on
I
CBS.
do know that. Yeah.
It premieres.
That looks so good.
It premieres August 2nd on CBS. But he's a huge Big Brother fan, and they were talking, and Julie asked. They both said what their favorite competition was, and Julie said hers was the slip and slide.
Oh, I love that.
She
Yeah.
said that was her favorite, and Mark said what the bleep, which was played last night. So I have 2 questions for you guys. One is, what is your favorite competition, and what is your favorite competition that you played in?
My favorite ever is OTEV.
Okay.
And like
that's a great one, by the way.
I mean, that's honestly my favorite competition ever. I love seeing it every year. And I also didn't like this season they did so early because I reserved that as like my little passion.
That's like your pride.
Yeah, like you don't deserve to play OTEV. And then I think the favorite one I played in, I don't know, like I felt like my competitions were so fun too. That's hard.
It's a hard question. I mean, it's probably hard to hard to think about all the ones you did
Definitely think my favorite to watch is OTEV as well. I think that's everyone's. Just such a classic. Yeah. We didn't get OTEV because we were baby budget. It's fine. I'm not bitter. I think that my favorite one we played in was the ball comp that they did on this one, but ours was just like a downgraded version. But it was so funny. Not so much like playing it, but like my sister had to wear beer goggles, and I just remember giggling the whole. I just thought it was the funniest. Why was it like thing. She had a punishment from the veto, so she was just like rolling around in all these balls and beer goggles, and I was just like, "Sucks for you." And it was just really fun. So that was one of my favorite.
I thought the OTT comps were fun because they involved it, like it was interactive for us watching you guys.
Yeah, because you got to see all of them. So I always forget y'all got to see literally everything.
Really cool. But then also, Morgan, I hosted one of your comps. How's that not your favorite?
But I lost that. So, and that was when I was like really banking on winning because I made a math
Morgan,
mistake.
You can't be mad at it. You can't be mad that you lost.
I know, I won the show, but like I was really thinking I was going to win that. Like I was like, I can do this, and then I made a math mistake.
I can
and got it very, very wrong.
Well, before we go, we want to plug your party because you're having a huge Big Brother party with the whole cast of BB19.
Okay.
Why don't you tell everybody?
It's going to be at Clifton's at downtown Los Angeles at 9 p.m. is when the red carpet starts. And it's you can like go to iwanttickets.com. It's like on Instagram. I can't remember the name.
Just go look at one of our Twitters.
Go look at their Instagrams and see, because any like they invite fans. Everybody can go. You can meet the cast.
Press, red carpet.
Some other big. You'll have a lot of other Big Brother alumni. And
a lot
stuff
of people.
Too.
Yeah, I mean, and other people from other shows. We have some people from The Bachelor in Paradise coming and The Bachelorette coming. So.
That's
cool
great.
Stuff.
Yeah, so guys, check that out.
Reality party.
All right. Well, I can't believe it, but we're almost done with these after shows. But continue to send us your questions, thoughts, favorite moments using #BuzzBigBrother if you have any questions for us. That's all for us tonight. I'm Bryce McLeay. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bryce Advice.
And I am Morgan Willett. Catch up with me on Twitter at Morgan.
Oh, and why don't you tell them about what you're doing?
Oh, fun fact, guys. I will be at the backyard along with Rachel doing the interview. So stay tuned. Tweet me whatever questions you want. And it'll be super fun.
Check it out.
Super fun. And I'm at Rachel E. Reilly Villegas on Instagram. Because it's really long. Rachel E. Reilly Villegas.
We want to thank you, Rachel, so much again for coming back.
It
was so much fun. You're always such a blast to talk to. I'm sorry that you guys don't get the fan experience to actually talk to Rachel, so I feel so bad for you, but I don't really. All right, take care, guys. That's it for us. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.